What was the word for what or that?
¿Qué?
Que. And what was the word for to buy?
Comprar.
Comprar. Good. So if we wanted to say something like, that you bought it is not my problem, that you might have bought it is not my problem, the fact that you bought it is not my problem, we can just start with que and put the verb in the mood tense, and we get this feeling. The fact that you may have bought it. We're doing the same thing in English. May have. With this may, we are getting some mood. So, let's start. Speaking informally. That you bought it, that you may have bought it.
So comprar becomes compraron. Comprara. Compraras.
Good.
Que compraras.
Don't forget your it just because you're concentrating so much on the verb, huh?
Que lo compraras.
Is not my problem.
No es mi problema.
Good. Que lo compraras no es mi problema. Maybe you want to say something like, that you told him is not my problem. So, to tell, we can use decir, to tell or to say, or contar, we saw as well. Contar means to count or to recount. So let's use contar. So, that you told him, the fact that you told him is not my problem. Speaking informally still.
Que contaras. Que le contaras no es mi problema.
Que le contaras no es mi problema. Good. In English, I should say, although I have this London English, so often I don't say, I should say, if I were you. Now, I was is the normal past tense, no? From to be, I was. So we change was to were to get the past mood tense in English. If I were you, hypothetical past. In Spanish, whenever we speak about the past hypothetically after si, after if, we will use the mood tense. So, for example, what was the verb to be able to, can, related to power?
Poder.
Poder. Now, if you want to make the they form in the past, they could, they were able to, there's a slight change. The pod that you would be left with after taking air away from poder turns to put. Put. So how would you say they were able to, using the point in the past?
Pudieron.
Pudieron. Good. So from this base, we can form the mood tense. So if you wanted to say something like, if I could cook, I would cook. So, if I could.
Si pudiera.
To cook. Or to kitchen.
Cocinar.
Good. Si pudiera cocinar, I would cook. So to find would, you must look back at I would like, it would please me.
Me gustaría.
Good. So there you have your would. So I would cook.
Cocinaría.
Good. Si pudiera cocinar, cocinaría. How would you say if I could cancel it, I would? So if I could cancel it, I would cancel it.
Si pudiera cancelarlo.
I would. So I would cancel it.
Lo cancelaría.
Good. Si pudiera cancelarlo, lo cancelaría. Good. What was to have? The to have that we use to go into the past.
Haber.
Haber. Now, when haber goes into the point in the past, that first bit ab of haber, when you take off your er, it changes for the point in the past. It becomes ub, H-U-B. So how would you say they had, using the point in the past, going from haber, and this ab of haber will become ub when we make the point in the past.
Hubieron.
Hubieron. Good. So we can say, if you had told me it. So speaking informally, if you had told me it, how would you say that? If you had told me it.
Si me lo hubieras contado.
Good. Si me lo hubieras contado, I would have gone. So if you had told me it, I would have gone. So now we need would have. We leave everything else at the door. So how do we get would have from haber?
Habría,
Habría.
habría.
Good. The E falls away. Habría. So I would have gone.
Habría ido.
Good. So altogether, if you had told me it, I would have gone.
Si me lo hubieras contado, habría ido.
Good. Si me lo hubieras contado, habría ido. If we had known, we would have gone. If we had known, we would have gone.
Si hubiéramos sabido,
We would have gone.
habríamos ido.
Good. What is to see?
Ver,
Ver. And what is they saw? Point in the past.
vieron,
Vieron. What was my house?
mi casa,
Mi casa. Your house informally?
tu casa.
Tu casa. You remember how to say his house, her house, your house formally, their house?
Su casa.
Su casa. Good. So how would you say, if you saw their house? If you saw their house.
Si vieras su casa,
Good. Si viera su casa. How would you say, if you saw it, you would understand it? Let's speak formally. If you saw it, you would understand it. Speaking formally.
si lo viera, comprendía, comprendería.
Good.
Comprendía is the tense, isn't it?
The line in the past. Very good. Si lo viera, lo comprendería. Or we could use entender, which also means to understand. Si lo viera, lo entendería. I should mention that there also exists an alternative form for the past mood tense, the past subjunctive, with hace or iese. So you may hear hablase instead of hablara, or entendiese instead of entendiera, comiese instead of comiera, comiésemos instead of comiéramos. But how much that alternative form is used really depends on the dialect. The main way, the most common way of using the past subjunctive is the one that we've learned here. And there's no difference between the two in meaning. They are just two versions of the same tense. So you don't need to worry about using hablase instead of hablara, for example, but you would need to recognize it if you hear it or read it somewhere.